Yeah.
Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. Man, we've been waiting on this game for a while. Oregon, Ohio State, number 12, number 3. A matchup that was supposed to happen last year but didn't, is now going to be played in Columbus on Saturday morning. And hopefully, guys, this game will live up to the hype. A game that has major playoff implications for both teams. So we are here to break down everything you need to know for this game, guys. What you need to know about the Ducks, what you need to know about the Buckeyes, and who we have winning this game in the horseshoe. So before we get started, again, welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys, here to bring you college football analysis year-round, 24/7, 365. We're in the thick of the college football season now. We could not be happier. Make sure to check out everything down in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe, and sign up for those expert picks over on our website, thegridironexpert.com. Our expert picks for week 2 just came out yesterday, both for college and NFL. And I can promise you do not want to miss out on that offer, guys. Some of the best spread picks in the entire country for one of the lowest prices in the country. Make sure to go check it out and sign up today so you don't miss out on any more of our picks and any more of our analysis over the course of this season. Again, it's a year-long subscription. So let's go ahead and break down this game, guys, between Oregon and Ohio State. Again, it's a huge one. 2 playoff contenders, the Pac-12 favorite versus, obviously, the Big Ten favorite in Ohio State, number 12, number 3. Not a top 10 matchup like we would have hoped, but close enough, right? Ohio State and Oregon have not met since the 2015 National Championship. The first year of the college football playoff, those two teams met in the Natty, and Ohio State decimated Oregon. It was closer about the first half. The Buckeyes literally ran away with it in the second half with Ezekiel Elliott. Should also be mentioned that Ohio State is 9-0 all time against Oregon. They've never lost to the Ducks. Never lost to Oregon. Will history change on Saturday, or will history repeat itself on Saturday? That is the million-dollar question. We'll take a look at the offenses, guys. We'll start with Oregon. We'll start with the Ducks. We know, and we've been talking about this all summer, really, up until this point, they're wanting to run an RPO-style offense under Joe Moorhead, their offensive coordinator. That is their style, and they have the pieces to do that. They have a very solid rushing attack, obviously with C.J. Verdell and Travis Dye, and they have a dual-threat quarterback in Anthony Brown, who transferred in from Boston College and saw significant playing time towards the end of last season, and ended up stealing the job away from Tyler Shuck, who transferred to Texas Tech. Last week against Fresno State, a narrow victory for Oregon. They only defeated the Bulldogs 31-24. Oregon had a very balanced attack, and they're going to need that if they want to defeat the Buckeyes on the road. Oregon had 172 passing yards from Anthony Brown. They had 186 rushing yards as a team. And like we mentioned, Brown is a dual-threat quarterback. He's a guy that can escape the pocket. He's a guy that can extend plays. He's a guy that can beat you on the ground. He scored the game-winning touchdown last week against Fresno State from 30 yards out. The million-dollar question is, can he pass? Can he be an efficient passer, a consistent passer? If needed, can Anthony Brown be the guy to march Oregon down the field and get them in a position to win the game solely through the air? That is the million-dollar question. That's what we have to find out. Do they have the passing attack to exploit Ohio State? They have the receivers, but Brown was mediocre at best during his time at Boston College. We know he can run, but he's got to be able to win through the air. Got to maintain that balance. When you look at Ohio State, we know they can throw. We know they can air it out. I would absolutely give the passing edge to the Buckeyes here. C.J. Stroud, the new quarterback for Ohio State, shined last week in their win over Minnesota. The Buckeyes won 45-31. Stroud, in his first start, 294 yards and 4 touchdowns, only 1 interception. He struggled at times early in the first half, had a couple big-time pass plays. Many people are trying to overlook that and say, yeah, if you take away the big pass plays, he was just mediocre, but he got the ball there. He was accurate, he was precise, he did well, and as we've been saying all week, a lot of teams see significant improvement from week 1 to week 2. That doesn't just go for the entire team, but it goes for individual players, and Stroud, I believe, will be one of them. On top of that, on top of the prolific passing performance, Ohio State had 201 rushing yards. So like Oregon, Ohio State was very balanced in their season opening victory. Mayan Williams had over 100 yards there, had well over 100 yards in that game, was the leading rusher for Ohio State against Minnesota. And as we all know, on top of the rushing attack, on top of the passing attack, Ohio State has one of the best wide receiver cores and duos in the nation. Chris Olave, 117 yards and 2 touchdowns last week, and Garrett Wilson, 80 yards and a touchdown last week. They are 2 of the best wide receivers in the nation. I'm not saying Stroud is one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, but he showed us last week in a hostile environment at Minnesota that he can win, can come from behind and win, and get the job done. The $1 million question, again, is while we know Ohio State is balanced, while we know they are explosive, they have a bigger explosive play capability, I believe, than Oregon does, can they exploit a solid Oregon defense? Again, so can Oregon pass the ball against Ohio State? That's the $1 million question. Can Anthony Brown get the job done? Can Ohio State and their explosive offense exploit a good Oregon defense? That is the $1 million question here. And when you take a look at the defense, guys, the major storyline we're looking at for Oregon right now is the fact they might be without their star defensive end, Kayvon Thibodeaux. Kayvon Thibodeaux got hurt last week against Fresno State, was seen in a walking boot on the sideline. As of this filming, we do not know if he will play. If he does not play, that is a huge, huge, huge loss for Oregon. Arguably the best defensive player in the country will not be on the field for Oregon, possibly, which means he will not be able to disrupt the pass, he will not be able to pressure C.J. Stroud, won't be able to help with the run-stuffing ability. Again, he's not going to be there. And even if he does play, how healthy will Kayvon Thibodeaux really be? And will he be more of a liability, or will he actually be able to help Oregon in this game? That's the $1 million question you have to watch out for here as we approach Saturday morning. Oregon, though, as we all know, under Mario Cristobal, outside of Kayvon Thibodeaux, usually a very solid defense. But it should be known that last week against Fresno State, the Ducks allowed 298 passing yards. Doesn't bode well when you're facing another good passing attack in Ohio State. Fresno State, their new coach, Kayvon Thibodeaux, we knew he was going to come in and throw the ball. They did a fantastic job of doing that. But nearly 300 yards, nearly losing to Fresno State at home, not ideal as you're going on the road to face a top 3 opponent. I do believe that Oregon can stop the run. I do believe that Ohio State will have to win this game through the air. But I do think they can do that. We're not making our official prediction yet, but if last week was any indication, Ohio State will be able to throw the ball effectively on the Ducks. When you look at Ohio State's defense, they're not, all that special either. We were not being harsh on Oregon, but we're not going to praise Ohio State either. First game, they allowed 31 points to Minnesota. They're trailing 14-10 at halftime. They trailed, 21-17 later in the game as well. So it was a tough battle for about 3 quarters, really, between Ohio State and Minnesota. And the Buckeyes gave up 408 yards of offense to the Golden Gophers, including 203 rushing yards. Muhammad Ibrahim had a fantastic game and unfortunately got injured in that game and will be out the rest of the year. But Ohio State did not have an answer for the run. And I'm here to tell you that Oregon can exploit that. So really for me, guys, this game in Columbus is a battle between Oregon's run game and Ohio State's passing game. Can Oregon's run game exploit Ohio State's defense? And can Ohio State's passing game exploit Oregon's defense? Based on what we saw from last week alone, the answer is yes to both of those questions. So at the end of the day, it really comes down to which defense comes up with the stop. Oregon forced 3 turnovers last week against Fresno State. Ohio State forced 2 turnovers last week against Minnesota. Which defense wins that turnover battle? Which defense gets the most stops? Because I do believe that each of these offenses has the capability to put up the points and will have the capability to make the opposing defense pay for it. You go on a drive and you come up empty-handed. Let's use this as an example. Oregon, they're marching the ball down the field. Ohio State's defense stands tall. Oregon punts it away. Ohio State's going to make you pay for it. Vice versa, too. Ohio State comes up empty-handed. Oregon's going to go down there and more than likely get 3 or 7 out of it. Both these defenses have to show improvement, and they have to be able to focus on shutting down the opposing team's strength. Oregon right now the run, Ohio State right now the pass. Although I will say again that Ohio State has the bigger explosive play capability, and I would venture to say right now they are more balanced than Oregon, although both, to me, seem to be very balanced teams. So what's going to happen in Columbus, guys? What's going to happen on Saturday morning? Again, 11 a.m. kickoff Central Time in Columbus. Again, a game that we should have seen last year. But did not due to COVID. Should have been played in Eugene. Didn't get to see it. Now it is in Columbus. Again, a game that has major playoff implications for both teams. But I will tell you this. This is a bigger game for Oregon than it is for Ohio State. Ohio State could drop this game at home, still win out, and make the college football playoff. Oregon, the Pac-12, as we've seen, we saw in week 1, is weak. The South is getting better with the likes of USC and UCLA and Arizona State, but Oregon's in the North. Their biggest competitor we thought was Washington. They just fell to Montana out of the FCS. Oregon, if they want to be taken seriously as a playoff contender, needs this win on the road. And I'm here to tell you that it will not happen. Ohio State will win this game at home. Again, look at the numbers, not just from last week, but historically. 9-0 all-time against Oregon. Ohio State has won 23 straight home games. The Buckeyes have won 23 straight games at home. Oregon is 1-25 all-time in road games against top 5 teams. It will fall to 1-26. Home field advantage will play a major, major role on Saturday, guys. These are two very good teams. These are two very well-coached teams. Not here to tell you that Oregon's a bad team, but I am here to tell you that I don't believe they're going to be consistent enough or physical enough to defeat Ohio State in the horseshoe on their home turf. It is not going to happen. And I've been telling you everybody this since day 1. I've been telling you this since the preseason when we did predictions for Ohio State and Oregon. Ohio State will not only win this game, they will win this game by double digits. This, to me, has the makings of a game that everybody is hyping up, a top 15 matchup, and this will be a game that you might end up turning off at the end of the third quarter, if not earlier. Ohio State will win this game. They will win it convincingly. They will show why they deserve to be in the top 3, and the Pac-12 woes will continue. When your conference favorite in Oregon gets beat bad on the road against Ohio State, you know your conference is going to be in for a rough year. We saw that in week 1. We will further enforce that point now in week 2. The Buckeyes get a solid win. They are a top 3 team. Oregon can still win the Pac-12, but Pac-12 playoff hopes, most likely done. So there you have it, guys, our analysis for number 12, Oregon, number 3, Ohio State. You still need to watch this game. Anything can happen, but we feel very confident that Ohio State wins this game and takes care of business, especially, again, if Kayvon Thibodeaux is out for the Ducks. But make sure to watch this game, a big one, top 15 matchup, 2 potential playoff teams. Couldn't ask for anything better in week 2 of the season. But guys, again, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Check out everything down in the description below. Again, that includes our expert picks over on our website, thegridironexpert.com. Sign up for those picks today. Go do it right now. It takes 20 seconds. Go do it. Knock it out, because you do not want to miss out on our picks and our analysis for week 2. And, of course, you don't want to miss out on any more over the course of the rest of the season. So make sure to go take advantage of that. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.